18-pounder cannon, meaning that it fires an 18-pound cannonball. The first thing that you will notice on this is that green patina. Over time, wear and tear in the swords. The other that you'll notice is the artistically detailed work the cannon maker put into this masterpiece. Cannon makers would take great pride in their work. They know the cannon is being made for the King of Spain. They know that it's being used in battle, and they want theirs to stick out. They're going to beautify it the best that they can. If you're interested in knowing who made the cannon, where it was made, or when it was made, on these cannons, look to the back. It'll tell you just that. In this case, a gentleman by the name of Solano. Solano Facit. Solano made in Sevilla and Nod, Sevilla, Spain. In the year of 1764 is when this cannon was made. 1764. Noticing the great artistically detailed work. In the rear of the cannon, this is known as the chamber. This is where your black powder and your cannonball will be fed into. Appropriately, Solano puts on the chamber the Spanish coat of arms. As you move more closer to the center, there are these handles that Solano would detail into dolphins. There you have the mouth, the eyes, the dorsal, and then the tails. The dolphins, as they are called. In the very center is your counterweight. That's your counterweight known as the trunnion. The trunnion will tell you what metal was used. In this case, bronze. And the weight, approximately 4,800 pounds this cannon weighs. So you're not going to pick this up from the dolphins, but from the hip or from the shoulder. Not going to happen. As you move to the center of the barrel, there is a Latin inscription. The Latin inscription reads, "Thunderbolts of an angry king." Then he names his cannon El Milanus. As most cannon makers would name them, he names his El Milanus, meaning the one from Milan. So you can almost see a succession of series of events happening with this cannon. Solano, who has taken great pride in his work, when that black powder and that cannonball are loaded into the chamber, and that black powder ignites, with the great pride of Spain comes a thunderbolt of an angry king, delivered to you personally by the one from Milan. So you can almost see a succession of series of events happening with these cannons. This has a range on it of 3.5 miles. 3 to 3.5 miles. The range of a 3-pounder cannon, more like 1.5 miles. Both of those cannons are fired by a vent hole, where a fuse is placed down in there, and that's how you light it. But not all cannons are fired in that way. Some are trigger fired, such as this beast behind me here. This, folks, is my favorite weapon inside this fort. It sits on a carriage, but they give it more perspective to the size. I stand at 6 feet 2 inches. I will look at about eye level with this gun. It's about 6 feet 2.5 inches, this gun is. There were 2 requirements to be a part of the Spanish army, 2 requirements. One was you had to stand at least as tall as your musket. Thankfully, this is not a musket, or no soldado will be manning this for sure. With a soldado, a male standing up to the average height of 5 feet 4 inches, this is a 2-man operation. The second requirement was you had to have at least 4 teeth. At least 4 teeth. 2 coming up, 2 coming down. And they had to meet as well. The reason for it, today's military, they carry magazines. Those magazines are chock full of rounds or bullets, however you wish to say that. Well, at that time, they didn't have magazines. They had cartridges. Those cartridges would have black powder and a musket ball in it. So by using those 4 teeth, you rip that pouch, rip that cartridge, pour that black powder down into this pan, into this tray. There's a very small hole where the black powder grains will work themselves into that hole and then into the rear of the cannon. This is known as a steel frizzen, a steel plate. Push that forward. Now you're ready to load. taking that ball, placing that down into the barrel, taking out the ramrod. If I can do this here, there we go. I won't drop it all the way down in there. Take the ramrod. You make sure that that ball is again touching that black powder. Once that's in, secure that ramrod. Now, of course, I'm doing this fairly slow compared to a two-man operation. Now that you have it in, this here is your hammer. That's the hammer. Clamped down into that hammer is a jagged flint stone. That hammer is cocked back, and when that trigger is pulled, the hammer will go forward. The flint stone hits that steel prison, creating a spark. When that spark ignites, it will hit that black powder. Boom! Out goes the musket ball. And that's how a flint lock musket or a flint lock amusette, also known as a wall gun, works. Have you ever heard the term lock, stock, and barrel? Lock, stock, and barrel. That's where it comes from.